One of the things that I hear from everybody at all times is you don't understand. I'm an introvert. And as an introvert, I don't know how to talk to people. As an introvert, you don't understand. I'm not a big speaker. I'm just shy. I'm just quiet. All of those things make sense for certain people. But here's what I will tell you: introverts do so much better in business. They're like silent, amazing snipers who they always aim from a distance, but they hit every single time. Today, we have a very, very special topic. If you are an introvert, you're going to want to listen to, and definitely an incredible guest, somebody that you're going to want to hear from. She's definitely one of those whom you call a superpower within herself. This is your strategic partner show. Let's go. Let's go.
I've been caught up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it takes. I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. Oh, I just can't give up. I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. I just can't give up.
I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted it some more. I wanted it to keep going. The party was going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Your Strategic Partner Show. And today we are about to bring the heat. And before we get into the topic that is catered to you, let me bring the all-star team themselves, starting from, she's in Massachusetts right now, north of the country. I got to keep up with you, Debbie Peltola Salmons, because you were in Florida last time and now you are in Massachusetts, correct?
Correct. I missed you guys last week because I was on the road.
Yep.
I tried to hook up and it just didn't want to cooperate.
Well, welcome back. I cannot wait to hear all of the experience from down under all the way to the top of the mountains. And of course, the man you love to love, the one and only Tokoyo Carlton, the slow-mo master himself, giving us those swirl, baby. Tokoyo Carlton, how was your week, my man?
Hey, man, super fantastic, sir. And of course, you can see the smile on my face, man. When I finally get a chance to be in the introduction video, come on, man. So I'm excited.
Great.
David, we got to add you in there next. We got to get your little party thing going as well.
But again, man, currently upgraded us.
Hey, I appreciate it, Doc. That was awesome. And love the music and everything. So, but again, man, just an amazing week. Super excited. Went to Virginia this week, obviously doing a follow-up on the heart transplant. Everything is going swell. We're waiting on the final results here the next day or so, from what they found, and hopefully everything is zero rejections.
Let's go.
And of course, we'll be still out here, banging them out. So send it back to you, sir.
Love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in business and you are an introvert, I certainly am an introvert who just knows when to turn it on. In other words, if you find me in a plane, I am the headphones, hoodie, head down. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me about anything. Don't tell me, can I look out the window? Nope. I am not talking to you. However, you give me a mic and put me on a stage, I will light it up. It's something that you have just within that you love to love. Now, with that being said, many people, and I'm curious to hear about you, dear viewer, listener, participants, right? Participation is definitely key. Are you an introvert when it comes to marketing and putting yourself out there, or an extrovert, somebody that is high on life and ready to just give me the mic. And I'm asking because you're going to help us formulate today's episode, and definitely want to make sure that you know that we're going to help you and give you as much value as we possibly can. Now, we're going to bring our guests in a second, but I'm curious here, Tokoyo Carlton, are you the introvert or the extrovert when it comes to business?
I'm both. I turn it on and turn it off. So a lot of people know me as Mr. Motivated, Mr. Hype, or whatever it is, but I do that when it's time to do that. I really enjoy being by myself. I love that downtime. I love that me time. And when I get around people, I'm able to be around that room. I'm not going to be the guy in the corner, right? So I'm going to actually put on the show for that time because that's what it calls for. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm not doing that, if I'm not doing business, if I'm not in front of a room, if I'm not, trained or coaching or whatever have you, I'm sitting there chilling by myself and I'm excited and happy to be by myself.
Love it.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird.
It's interesting. How about you, Debbie?
Well, just so you guys know, there's actually a term for what apparently all 3 of us are, and that is an extroverted introvert.
Interesting.
And
Tell me more.
That is an actual category. And that's what all 3 of us would be, I would say. And basically, Takoyo just summed it up. We can turn it on and be extroverted when we need to, but we also need that introversion time where we can be quiet and alone. Like you guys, we've been together, right? I mean, you can put me in a crowd of turn it on, but on my downtime, I don't want to be in a crowded event, right? I took my kids to theme parks when they were little, and if I never see one again, I will be one happy gal, right? But so just so you know, there is a category of introverted extroverts.
Wait, hold on. Ollie, can I do what you did? Interesting. Did you have the eyebrow up too when you said that? Like,
yeah.
Pull out the Google. You'll find it.
I think you know me by now. I love to learn, and if you tickle my brain, in my neurons, man, I love you, and I love me some you. Now let's get our special VVIP, and if you know me, I use the VVIP term because I think all of us are at some point, way, shape, form in our lives very important people. However, I add the extra V because this person, I've had the privilege to see her thrive, grow, become who she is still becoming, going into a journey. And she is 100% of one of the most disciplined, slow thinking, yet executing at every single time, entrepreneur, business developer, marketer, investor, definitely a heavy investor, risk taker, a teacher, a sister to many, a friend to others. And she's part of our internal team with Medawi Enterprise, but she has her own brand that is literally starting to take over. If you follow her, especially on Instagram, you have been seeing her brand lighten it up, and that is Dreamable by Elizabeth Cousins. So ladies and gentlemen, we have the founder herself of Dreamable, the one and only Elizabeth Cousins. Let's give a whole lot of virtual applause.
Elizabeth!
How you doing, rock star? Now, here's the thing. I'm doing my very best not to put pressure on you because Elizabeth is that. I'm just going to keep it to myself. I don't want to talk much, but I am killing it in the business space, right? As a matter of fact, the next event that she's attending will be with billionaires and hecton millionaires in California, in Beverly Hills, private jets and everything. So this is the caliber and the heavyweight that we are talking to right now. And I've had the opportunity to work with her over the last 2 years plus, just to help her show the world how great she is, because I get to see it internally. I'm like, man, you're so great. Why aren't you telling the world this? You're so amazing. Let everybody know the good news. And many of the meetings that you and I have handled with, prospects and potential clients, Elizabeth, and, I'll do a whole synopsis and I'll evaluate our prospect and I'll give them a whole, 27 minutes. And then I'm like, all right, well, Elizabeth, anything you want to add? I'm like, she's got 3 minutes. She's going to bring it home. And here's what Elizabeth would say. No, I pretty much agree with Ollie. Every time, and I'm like,
that's an accurate answer.
No, I get it. I totally get it. But she is so amazing. She currently is going to Bible school, Bible college as we speak, to start educating individuals and helping individuals. Now, I don't want to take too much of your shine, Elizabeth, but please, if you could, in like 2 minutes or more, see how I'm setting up the foundation in here? If you can tell us, take a moment and tell us, first of all, who do you work with? How do you help them? What are the results that you create? And I'd like to dig a little bit more into your overall vision of everything that was, is, and will be. So why don't you enlighten us a little bit on who do you focus on?
Well, I focus on everyday people who feel stuck in the struggle of the ordinary life, wherever they are in life, by connecting them with strategic partners and daily mentors so that they can experience immediate paradigm shifts and so that they can develop financial freedom and live their dreams.
I love it, and that's where dreamable really comes from. And it's interesting, and we are all here strategic partners, and I'm sure you both would like to chime in. Just the idea of her tapping into, I'm connecting individual with strategic partners, first of all, taught me at the very early age, you don't gotta have it all, know it all, or have it all figured out. If you just know people who have it somewhat figured out, and you can connect and tap into their mastermind, into their space, into their knowledge, and then capitalize on that. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's funny because a lot of us are networkers, right? And multi-level relationship, whatever you want to call it, right? But that's what networking is, right? Networking is finding people, connecting them, and getting that networking together. And I don't know about you, Elizabeth, but for me, at any level that I participate in that, it's really, really fulfilling, right? Because we don't have to be the experts on everything, and we're not going to be the experts on everything. So the key is to surround yourself with that dream team, right?
Yes.
Like the dreamable, right? Get the dream team around you.
She's like an Avenger. I promise you that. Takoyo, what are your thoughts on Elizabeth's approach to business?
I gotta say, first of all, like you said, she's an Avenger. She's someone who comes in. Like, if you look at the Avengers, there was really no person who was better than everybody else. Like, they all had extraordinary skills, but they came together to defeat whoever it was at that time. So again, I think that's where she is. She's just that person. Like you said, she's very quiet and unassuming, but when she gets entrenched in something and she gets excited about it, she just turns on a switch. And I've seen that over the last few 6 months to almost a year now, really seeing her grow. And really, like Debbie said, she's using a lot of different variations of herself by plugging into other people. And I think that's exciting. And I'm watching her grow, because here's the thing. I wish more people would do or have that ability to humble themselves to do what she's doing. She realizes that she has, these areas that she needs to work on. But she's smart enough to know that, hey, these folks over here, Ollie and Debbie and all these countless other people, Rob Bulgari, all these guys and all these women that she's associated with, that she could pull from each one of those guys and gain a little bit of their strength. So she is like an Avenger, to where she again goes out and has this superpower, but she's able to use other people's power. That's another superpower. She's able to use other people's power in order for her power to grow and attract more people. And I've seen that on your Instagram, by the way. Kudos on that. I remember you were really getting no attention there. And literally within the last 60 days, I'm talking about 100, 200, 300, views and likes and all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, hold up. I need to talk to her about my Instagram.
Let's go, Elizabeth Cousins. You're getting the love. Let's go. Hey,
I call Elizabeth a silent sniper.
I said the same thing. She literally
Curry, man. She's Curry in the making, man.
And listen, she can't miss. Like, even if she wants to, she can't miss. No, that's amazing. Elizabeth, let's talk about, you yourself have had an interesting upcoming, right? Like, you come from a traditional family of, pastors and ministry leaders, and obviously that has a lot of impact on who you are today. But then you figured out a way, without compromising who you are, to cross over to the business side and coexist with other individuals. And by the way, that's the actual first principle of Napoleon Hill, which is the principle of mastermind. Get along with a lot of individuals, grab a little bit and borrow a little bit of what they do, which what you've mastered skillfully. And whether you realize it or not, subconscious or conscious, you're doing it so well. So how much has your upcoming impact you and how you want to impact other people around you? If you can share with us a few words on that.
Well, actually, while you were all speaking, I sometimes, like an introvert, I guess, would say this as myself. Like, I can't believe this is me that you guys are talking about.
Believe it, sis.
Yeah, and with the background, it also brought to me the verse that God has not given us a spirit of fear. So with that, I was always fearful in my shell, and partly because of my upbringing. The people in my life didn't necessarily see the life that I had for myself. They wanted me to live their life. So I kind of, even family and friends, the people who you think would support you, but I just decided to like ignore them or just not pay attention to their negativity when it comes to that area, and just step out of fear and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real quick.
Key words, kept moving. You kept moving. That's the key, Elizabeth. Because it's hard when you're not supported, right? It is hard, and we do actually have to go inward. We have to go inward and become introverted to shut off some of that negativity that's around you, right? It's just making sure you don't go too deep and then you bring yourself back out, right? That's the extroverted introvert, right? You just, when you need to, you bring it out, but you go back in when you need to recover, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Takoya, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was going to say this right here because just listening to her say that, see, the sad part about most people who never figure out what their purpose is, their why, what it is they want to do in life, is that they're trying to see them they're trying to see it for themselves, right? People, strangers, friends will see it way before you do. So
Literally.
it's so crazy. The closest people to you won't see it because it's happening. So, again, they hold you to the past. And it's so crazy because I learned this a long time ago. Growing up in the industry, is that, again, that's why it's so hard to recruit family. That's why it's so hard to talk to friends and family about what you do, because they can always remember where you started from. They can always remember the one room apartment, the car that, was part tint and part rust, right? They can remember all that stuff. They can remember the time when they used to change your diapers and, how many times they changed your diapers, right? But when it comes to you saying, hey, listen, now I'm this other person, I'm trying to become more and I'm doing more, you don't tell them that. You just introduce yourself, and those people start to see this subtle change in you. And again, it's strangers who will see it first. Like the people who are watching your social media right now, they're seeing it, but family's still saying, she's just doing one of those things. She's just posting, this and that. But people who know the know are looking and saying, okay, no, she's not just posting anymore. People actually are gravitating to her post. People actually, responding to what she's saying. So again, she's creating an audience, right? And so again, that's the whole thing. So I wish and I hope that people can hear what you said today, that again, discounting your greatness because you don't necessarily think that you're there yet or that you have that it thing, but the people around you see it. And that's the most important part, because they're going to give you validation. And once you get validation, there's no stopping. Does that make sense?
If I may add, sometimes we, to your point about discounting our greatness, we hide behind the I'm shy concept, right? Like, listen, I think we're all shy at some point of capacity. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, if you're a terrible dancer when everybody's dancing, you're shy. If you're not a good cook where you're in a kitchen of chefs, you're going to be shy, right? Like, it's the shyness usually is just a matter of, am I comfortable to put myself out there? Do I know enough to put myself out there, right? Dating, I mean, I don't care how smooth, suave you are. We all are shy, right? I might gotten lucky and, my wife accepted me since high school, but I think it's just because everybody looked a whole lot uglier than this ugly guy. Like, I think I just got lucky, and I was like in a room full of like, and she goes like, he's the least, scary one. But in any case,
it's so true.
About the ugly part.
I just want to say, dating. How you
did it, bro?
My two things: dating and karaoke. Okay. No.
And I mean, listen, I'm not trying to brag, but I did good in the first one. I locked her out since the first day in high school. And I think you heard me singing karaoke. One of these days we'll do
I heard you, brother. I
a
know.
special one for y'all. But in any case, yeah, no, I think what I appreciate most about Elizabeth, and when the example that everybody is to take from her story is, like, yeah, you can still be shy, but I'm still kicking butt, like in my own shy ways and behind the scene. Like, I think the smart thing that she's done is she allowed other people in her realm, in her area, in her space to impact her and influence her and kind of get her uncomfortable enough to just like poke your head out. Like I text her. I didn't text her today because I know she was going to be with us, but I text her every single day. Hey, I'm just checking in. How is your DMO, daily method of operation? When are you doing your live? And how is your great discovery? Right? Like every single, it's like, I feel like I'm like, all right, it's time to annoy Elizabeth. Hey, it's me again. But she always honors that. Okay, I'm gonna get uncomfortable. I know she does not like to do Facebook lives. Like it's just not her thing, right? But she gets uncomfortable enough to still put herself out there, and she's still alive, folks. With all that shyness and all that, I'm nervous. She is alive. You're seeing her right in front of you right now. So which I appreciate. All right, let's kind of before I want to ask you about how this whole thing even came about. Like, what was this enough is enough, I'm gonna do something different and something entrepreneurial? Because I know you had a little bit of experience in the traditional job, and at the same exact time, where are we heading with Dreamable? Like, what do you envision? What is the impact? But before we do, your boy Ollie's gotta pay some bills. I just want to remind every single person at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, your strategic partners and I are going to be doing a live Zoom session where we're going to not only do the hot seat, but I'm going to show you the top 4 pieces in your Facebook account that attracts weirdos or lights it up for you in terms of activity. And I'm going to also show you how in 30 minutes a day, you can connect with over 600 individuals organically, without a funnel, without a marketing system, without anything finicky or crazy. So that is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, you may be wondering, how can I get access? I am.media. Hey, Tokoyo Elizabeth, point down for a second for me. I am.media, all the way in the bottom. And for an average of $1.50 a day, you can have the opportunity to participate and you to learn, how can I get in front of 600 people in a calendar month? All right. So let's get back to our rock star in here, Elizabeth. So can you share with us, because I know you have experience in the movie theater space and other things that you've tried as well. What was the moment that you went from, I'm shy and I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to be doing, to you put your head up and you were like, you know what? I'm out. I'm really out. I'm going to go entrepreneur 101. Share with us that experience, because it's important to understand as part of your story how that transition happened.
Well, I was in a bad relationship, domestic violence, and actually nothing good happened for me there. But I would say that one good thing happened was that he was actually fired from the same company we were with. I was in another location, but he actually asked one of the managers to let me be a manager. I did not want to be a manager, but so I was promoted to manager. But when I got the position, the manager above me wasn't respecting me. I was tired of him. There was one time where I was having a medical emergency, and if you're a manager, you can't really leave the staff by themselves. So he wouldn't let me go to the hospital. I called him to come from his house 15 minutes away to the movie theater, and he wouldn't. But that's just one example. But that was not a good situation anyway, the whole way that he was treating us. So I decided to quit and didn't really have a plan. So I joined a business after that, and since I was in the bad relationship, I was also taking care of this guy, and then I ended up in bankruptcy. my own fault, doing more for him than for myself. And so when I finally hit bankruptcy, I realized there was no other way. There was no, I was living off what I had, But then that was the rock bottom because no one else was going to provide for me. So that's when I got serious about business.
That's
Yeah.
It has that
Yeah,
answer
I
my
didn't know
question.
that.
We all were like, wait a minute, somebody
Hold up.
rewind that tape.
Whoa, horsey.
Listen to this. You went from domestic violence, and then somebody didn't show up, and then I decided to give him a ride, and then I was like, no, you're not gonna be late to leave everybody behind. And then I said, I'm just gonna get out of here and get there. There's a lot to unpack in there. Tokoyo, you want to take a jab at it?
Wow.
Man, I'm just like tripped out right now because I'm like, I'm looking and say, is this Elizabeth that just said that?
Oh, it is Elizabeth. Hey, I'm curious. Yeah, go ahead, Tokoyo.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Ali asked you, like, what was the pivotal moment that really helped you to start to move towards your greatness that we now know today? So we know those things happen for you. So how did you hold it all together? So that's those difficult questions.
Yeah.
How did you hold it all together? Because obviously coming out of a relationship like that, you know, that's hard, right? Because it's mental and physical. So how were you able to come out? Because there's a lot of people listening right now who are in that same situation as we speak.
Or have been in the past and
Yeah.
need a little bit of healing.
So how did you hold it together? Who did you lean on? And then, you know, of course, once you kind of got your bearings and got yourself together, and, you know, what was it that really helped your mindset change from entrepreneurial from job mentality to entrepreneur? Why the big jump from there to there?
Well, so because my own people weren't supporting me, I actually ran away for a couple of days to a church sister's house. So I stayed there. I hid from them.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. Just let me prepare you. I know the backstory. You're gonna find yourself saying, wait, hold on. How did we get here? Her story is so fascinating, by the way, that if we were to go over it all, we're gonna need to do like a special 2-hour episode. So
Okay, well, let's plan that because
get a paper and pen, because you're gonna be getting like, oh my God, what else? And then you can come back. So go ahead, please, Elizabeth. I had to give them a heads up. Go for it.
All right, I'll share the story because I guess it's interesting. Now looking back at it, I can laugh. So my face was smashed against the windshield of my own Audi. And so the guy called the cops and he basically lied on me. And because I always smile, I was literally smiling to the like I smile every single day, even during bad things. So he believed the guy and I got arrested. I went to jail and I bailed myself out. I am so grateful and thankful. I thank God every day because that same money, I was going to fix his car with that money if I didn't have that money, because I wasn't going to call someone to bail me out. I was too embarrassed. So they charged me with weapon possession, which I picked up a stick in self-defense to hit him back.
Wow.
And assault, which he did to me. So that's the story.
I have to say something. I'm sorry.
Please, because I'm telling you, you're gonna be.
I'm in shock, bro. I'm serious. I'm in shock.
Because Elizabeth, I have to speak on all of this, right? Because what we see in you, holy cow, like that, what you've gone through, and what I'm hearing you tell me is that you pulled yourself out of it on your own. That is a massive strength that most people don't have. Right. And so I just have to tell you that there is not, as a psychologist, there is nothing in this world that you can't do because you overcame that for real. So we see your potential. I also want you to know that I see your inner strength, and it's massive.
Thanks. That means a lot. This whole live, I feel so good. I feel like it's empowering me.
Just for the record, I text her the link this morning because we talked about doing this, and I have a feeling she forgot. So I sent the banner and I sent the link. I'm like, looking forward to it. She's like, today. Like, yeah, this is happening. It's the flyer is already out, the link is already out, the email has already been blasted, my friend. Your face is all over. So we're doing this.
I have one question. I'm just
go ahead.
dying to ask Elizabeth, because you know what you're sharing, and I know there's a whole lot more story. And I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you what, I want a 2-hour show so I can learn it all, right? For real. Because do you understand how powerful this story is? Powerful. And what I'm curious about is, because what I'm hearing is you pulled yourself up with no support around. What I'm interested in is when was your first kind of connection with someone that did support you and lift you up? Because we all know how important mentorship is, right? You are a case study from pulling your bootstraps out, but at some point you got people like us believing in you, right? And we see that potentiality. So I'm just curious where that first kind of connect happened for you.
I think it was with a network marketing company. When I had joined one, because that's what they do. They lead us in business.
It's excellent. I know, isn't that the greatest thing? Hey, in case anybody doesn't know, network marketing companies, just personal growth and development in disguise. So I'm giving you the big secret. So that's one of the reasons I absolutely think everyone, I encouraged my sons when they were 18 to get into a network marketing business. It wasn't necessarily about the money for them. I wanted them to get that experience. So that's fantastic, Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth thinks she's slick and stuff, man. She really does. Like, she's saying stuff, but she's only like, even your answer to what you just said, she was like, I don't know, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So she's not really going into detail, and it's like making us want more information. Because you're telling us all this stuff.
You know how to pique the interest, Elizabeth.
right, Ollie. She's telling us all this stuff, and then she's like giving like one word answer.
You have no idea. So again, I work with Elizabeth pretty much every single day, and then we'll talk, and she will give me like 3 words, and I'm like, my brain just got hit with ideas and stimulations, and I feel like I am empowered. Like, you need to do a live. You need to write a book. Like my first time talking to her about writing a book, she was like, yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, okay, you have one job today. Just write the first sentence. I was like, you are writing just the first sentence. She comes back, she wrote almost a paragraph, which was pretty awesome, right? So her story is not only fascinating, her humility is even more incredible. I've never seen somebody that is so serving, giving. We've done events together, and she would always be the first one to volunteer. Hey, give me a volunteer shirt, and she'll put it on, and I'll open the door for people. I'll help them seat, and whatever the case may be. And she's done that in previous project that we all 4 of us worked on together. And she was a majority, like multiple 6-figure share investor. And she would be the first one to be like, hey, let me help you. Let me hold the bags for you. Let me, and that probably, if I may say, that has a lot to do with her success, is because she is tapping, again, consciously or subconsciously, she's tapping into certain core values and fundamentals that automatically qualify you to just receive it and always get it back. There are some people who are violating, in every single way, left and right, and they wonder why they don't have it, and here is a young lady that I've seen literally multiple times over and over and over, who has done the right thing by the people, by the companies and whatnot, and things, whether it didn't work out or intentionally was done wrong, she never, ever, ever has retaliated with a negative attitude. She always maintained. I mean, you just heard her story. She's been physically assaulted, and she was smiling and saying, I just defended myself with a stick, and still maintained a smile in her face. And for anybody listening, wherever you may be around the world, you need to connect with this young lady over here, because she is more than just amazing, and she definitely has the right connection. She's about to get upgraded in Beverly Hills, and she definitely is the pure definition of dreamable. But that's my story, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Yeah, and it's just the heart of servitude, right? I mean, Elizabeth, every time I've spoken to you, and I was blessed to meet you a couple times as well. I mean, that's what you exude. is that servant's heart and total humility. For me, just so you know, I recognize that you're a little introverted, but what you come across to me is humble. That's how you come across to me, is humble with a servant's heart. And as Ali just eloquently said, that's what raises you to that level, whether, you know, subconsciously or unconsciously. Personally, my guess is that's just who you are.
Yep.
That is who you are at your core. You don't even have to think about it.
So good stuff. I know we can go on with the past and stuff like that, but I got to give her some other stuff here because she has so much stuff to unwrap here. So real quick, if you don't mind, because I know you, let's kind of start where you say you kind of started to change, and that was through that company, right? So you joined the company, and did you have success in that company, or was it just a learning situation where you just learned a lot? You were able to grow and build yourself up because of the people that you were associated with. And then, of course, what was like your breakthrough? Because we know you're very successful in investing. So let's start from that company and how it led you to where you are today in business.
So I wasn't successful in that company. I actually had shiny object syndrome. I ended up jumping to multiple companies. So if I didn't stay in any, I couldn't be successful in any. So yeah, I invested on the side, and it wasn't until maybe a year or two ago I had some success in the last company, and that's where I met Ali. And yeah.
All right. Well, good. But you got me laughing. And I'm trying to be serious and ask the crazy questions, the serious questions.
Good luck, Tokoyo. You welcome. This is I call it my beautiful pain. This is literally how my conversation, and you know me, I can talk, and I will go for like a full, we'll have a mindset thing. Like I'm trying to help her overcome something, that is stuck or whatnot. And I'll go for like 20 minutes straight. I'm going like TED Talk style. And I think you should do this, and this is why, and the science behind it, and the mindset behind it, and make sure you're right, and you're reading, blah, 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 blah. Like, does that make sense? Yes.
Yeah. She does the same thing to me, man, because I do the same thing, and I find myself doing that. Like you'll be going on a whole long soliloquy, and then she goes with that simple response. And you're like, okay.
I want to tell you guys, I grew up with Elizabeth. Okay, my dad was Elizabeth. My mother, myself, my brother. We could talk a blue streak. And when my father would actually respond, it was like the E.F. Hutton commercial, right? Silence, and Elizabeth, I think that's you too. When a quiet person speaks, everybody listens. And my dad was the same as you. No wasting of words. He had no use for wasting of words. It was just answer and done. But everybody would be on the edge of their seats. Like, oh my gosh, he's going to say something. So listen, Elizabeth, you're doing that to us right now. We're going, oh, okay, Elizabeth, let it rip. Right? Peaking the interest big time. Peaking it. Love it. Love it.
I'm trying to come out with questions that's going to actually give her some longevity in the responses.
Well, I got one. So you traveled a lot. You certainly love to, and I know Jamaica is home and one of the places that you admire. And most of your fun videos, if you want to call them that, right? They're all fun, but where you can tell you are experiencing life and you're showcasing your personality and whatnot, has been in Jamaica. Tell us a little bit about, what does being in that environment mean to you as a creator, as an entrepreneur, and as somebody who just needs to unplug sometimes? Because I know we all went to Jamaica together, and you stayed for like another 10 days after us, and you weren't at a resort. You were like, bathing in mud and drinking red beer. And, tell us a little bit about, like what does all that mean to you? Like, how does that impact you as a person?
So, sorry, my throat just got dry all of a sudden.
Nah, you're good. I know. I asked.
Yeah. She's trying to get out of it. She's trying to get out of the answer.
I asked a big question.
So, I feel free. I feel like when I look at my own self in my videos, even probably when other people, they probably see a different person. So, because it is my homeland, I was born there, but I came here when I was 2. So when I'm back there, I'm trying to relearn the culture. I'm trying to get back into it, even try to speak the language, mingle with the people, actually get to know Jamaica, because there's different sides of Jamaica. You know, it's not just the nice tourism side. I actually go back and help people there. Yeah.
And by the way, Elizabeth, I would like to reiterate and talk about what you talked about with Instagram when Ollie was talking about Instagram and your following. I just want to tell you personally that I have had 3 women reach out to me directly that have been watching you on Instagram and said, "What does Elizabeth do? My gosh, she's living a life." And I said, "Get to know her and you'll find out." So you are being followed and watched big time.
Cool. I didn't know.
Oh, you
you
better
know.
know. The
You
world, the
know.
world is watching you. And again, it goes back to we all, you know, we're so kind, nice, and supportive to everybody else, but sometimes we're almost mean to ourselves, right? Like here's Elizabeth, who the world sees her in a pedestal, and she's like, I don't know, me? You think of that of me? Like, yeah, why wouldn't you think that of you, right? And that kind of comes back to that paradigm that we talk about. But you know, I'd like to give it to Koyu for a second. Then we're gonna go into our very first segment with Mrs. Salmons. Koyu, what you got?
Yeah, I'm still trying to come up with questions so I can get a couple words out of it.
Oh, good luck. Good luck.
Elizabeth, you're doing
so-
fine, sweetheart.
Yeah. So when you was in Jamaica, so like we talk about Jamaica, that's your spot, right? So like what I noticed is like you said, when you go back, and if you can expound on that a little bit, because I know your mission is to be mission driven. So you want to go to different countries and help out the population there and the communities there, and feed the communities, help the community. So talk to us a little bit about that. Where do you see, what are those goals, or what are some of those dreams that you see yourself accomplishing over the next year? Because we kind of spoke about this before in private about those type of things. So if you can kind of tell us, like, because of what you've done. See, and here's the thing. What Elizabeth has done, she's got money as an excuse out the way. Remember we had that conversation? So it's easier for her to do the things that she's doing. People say, well, what does she do? Right? No one's saying that yet. What is right? But anyways, so she's got money out the way, and it's so amazing what you can do. Debbie's living the same life. They've got, her and her husband have got money out the way so they can actually live their lives without the that thing that guzzle, right? That's holding you down from having the life that you want to live and go to places that you want to go. So tell me real quick, like, and not when I say, I shouldn't have said the word quick. But tell us,
Sorry,
like,
that was really
That was funny. That was
that's
funny.
funny, Takoya.
I know I messed up. So just tell us a little bit about what your dreams are, because I know it's very huge. Like, what you're gonna do for these different countries and cultures. Like, what's your plans on that?
So I want to travel the world and do missionary work. So I want people to see Christ in me. I want to live love, meaning the way that I live, I want them to see, like, go out and do good for people, make them feel good, heal them in every way, physically, through God, let them know God, emotionally, financially, physically. So that all starts with me, though, when I live love, because a hungry man or woman, child, can't listen to me if they're hungry. So I have to meet their physiological needs first. So that's where I start.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm telling you, this
Elizabeth,
is the
why are we
introvert
not-
shy girl.
He threw
Why
one of
are
Ollie's
we-
words in there, physiological, blah, 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 blah.
Elizabeth, I need a call with just you, okay? I'm just saying. Sorry, guys. We need to set up a Zoom, like you and I, Elizabeth. Okay? We really do.
You are again. She's a gift, and I selfishly get to enjoy her gift every single day. I just wish she did this more often. Could you imagine if she did a Facebook Live every day, and if she shared more of her content everywhere, a little bit more? If she reached out to like 30 people a day and let them know how amazing she is.
Oh, boy.
My goodness, I'll tell you this: the first time she and I said, like, let's collaborate, I said to her, I'm like, you remind me of a female version of me. Because I was there. I was the quiet, shy, not sure if I have it like that. And, I see you as a gift, Elizabeth, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. But before I get all teary on you, let's listen to Debbie Simons, as she has a whole lot of wisdom on living life in balance. And I think you all are going to want to pay attention, because her gift is definitely to help you learn how to do life while enjoying everything else, while most people compromise life in the sake of business or whatever it may be. So Debbie Simons, take it away.
My goodness, thank you so much, Ollie. And I'm just curious, did you somehow see my notes? Holy cow. Because I want to talk to you guys. You know what we're, let me see, what's the date? We're 7 or 8 days into the summer, right? So what I want to talk to you guys about is, as entrepreneurs, you do not want to take the summer off. And if you're in network marketing, you don't want to take the summer off. But I want to talk to you about enjoying your summer without stopping your business, right? And it goes back to what I've talked about for years, and that's controlling your calendar, right? The kids are home. There's events. There's all types of things, right? The joy of being an entrepreneur is that you have the freedom to engage in those events. That's the point, right? Is to be able to live life on your terms, which I have been so unbelievably blessed to do for 40 some odd years. And so here's the thing. As you're looking at your summer, I'm going to tell you right now, I've got my calendar right here, working on it for August. And I am calendaring in my fun, right? I am calendaring in events, and they're going in my calendar first, because people want to enjoy the summer months, and you should. But I tell you this now, and I mean it sincerely, don't stop working. That would be the kiss of death. Do not just take the summer off, just calendar it. Give yourself a little bit of free time. Prioritize, right? Prioritize better. Who, what, and where, and when, right? Figure it out, and so that you're working efficiently and smarter and utilizing all those minutes, so that you can absolutely have a bang up fun summer and your business can still take it to the next level. Because I will tell you this, and in the field of network marketing, those people that stay in the grind through the summer, same as during Christmas and the holidays when other people take time off, they're eons and miles ahead of everyone else. So if you haven't planned your weeks, your months for the summer, please do that. But really be conscious to give yourself that balance, to give yourself that regeneration. Like Elizabeth is talking about when she goes back to Jamaica and she feels that freedom. Wherever you are, if you have a staycation or a vacation, allow yourself that reward for your hard work. So with that, I'll turn it back to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know you got to show some love. You got to give a whole lot of love. As a matter of fact, for everyone who gives a little bit of love on that comment, we're going to raffle at 8 p.m. Eastern, a private 1-hour session with all 4 of the individuals, including Elizabeth Cousins. 1 hour, and that's going to be raffled at 8 p.m. For those of you who are part of our community, IM.media. Click on Academy, and then you got the ins and ins. There you go. Somebody wants to grab that 1 hour. I'm loving
Denise.
it.
Hi, Denise.
There you go. There you go. Yes. Awesome. All right. So, Elizabeth, we all dream, and dreamable definitely brings that sense of making it an action, right? Like intentionally be dreamable, right? Like you are able to dream. If there is one person that is watching right now and they feel a sense of, yeah, but I know you're living your life and you're telling me I can dream big, but what is your message to that person that might not have the belief system within themselves? And this is where I put the camera on you.
First of all, change your language. Don't use but. Actually, here's a true example. If you look on my profile right now, there's a post that I made exactly a year ago this week that said, I'm tired of solo traveling. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm tired of solo traveling. I want to plan a group trip to Mexico, all expense paid. I literally had nothing on paper. It was just an idea. And in 2 days, I will be in Mexico on a group trip, all expense paid. I paid for my friend to do an all expense, and there will be other people. So it's a group trip about maybe 200 of us. So that's just a real life example for you.
And we got over a minute in one statement. That is a world record, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. World record. That is a TEDx.
And she wins the manifesting award.
Seriously, I mean, we're talking about, oh yeah, that definitely manifestation at its finest. But yeah, before we end up or move on to our closing statements, you definitely want to get a little bit of love and pick me up. You know what I love about this segment that you're about to hear, especially, you know, if you follow him, he gives you a whole lot of that on his social media assets. But then, you know, it is just about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where you're like, I still got a couple of hours of prospecting or whatever Zooms I have to have. And you got Mr. Carlton to pick you up with a motivational moment. Take it away, boss.
Hey, what's up, fam? Takoya Carlton here. And of course, this is a motivational moment. And of course, I want to talk about some things today because obviously we see a situation where we have a young lady who joined us on today. And listen, she didn't know this was coming up the day before. She didn't know it was coming up a week ago. She found out today that she was going to be live with us, high level people, right? We're talking about Debbie, Ollie, and myself, right? She didn't know that she was going to be on. But see, here's the thing, guys. Here's a lesson in that. You have to be ready whenever that moment arises. You have to be ready when your name is called. And so again, here's the thing, guys. Most people who are in that same situation, they will say, no, can we do it another time? I'm not prepared. See, guys, if you're already in the game, you always have to be prepared. So if you're in the world of business and you're in a company, you got to be prepared. Someone says, hey, listen, I need you to do a presentation tonight. I can't make it. Can you do it? Yes, I can. So guys, what I'm saying is for all the people who are sitting there simply saying, listen, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. You've heard the presentation 1,000 times, right? You've been on every call. You've been on every training. And guys, listen, when your name is called, you just have to be ready to do the training. You have to be ready to do the presentation. You have to be ready to show up. And so even if you're messing it up, guys, you still have to go out and get in the game and do the thing. And so here's the thing, guys. Being inexperienced and willing to learn is better than being experienced and thinking you know it all. So again, let me say it again, guys. Being inexperienced and willing to learn is better than being experienced and thinking that you know it all. See, guys, a lot of us find ourselves in that situation where, again, we think we know it all, right? We've been there. You know, we've got some age on us. We got some history on us. But again, we think we know it, right? Because we're high level at our job. Maybe we're a manager at our job. Maybe we're a CEO at our company. Guys, just listen. If you're not willing to grow, you start immediately falling backwards. Or if you don't fall backwards, you find yourself on that same plateau and you can't really realize or find, why am I not, progressing? Why am I stuck in this place? It's because you stopped growing. It's because you stopped asking for assistance. See, that's what this called. If you listen to the whole thing over again, it was all about reaching out and associating yourself with people who make you better. So if you're in a situation right now, I don't know what the situation is for you, but if you're in a situation right now, who in your space, who in your life space right now can you lean on for that extra little bit to help you move, to help you graduate, right? So if there's no one in your space, listen, real quick, if there's no one in your space right now that you can gravitate to, someone that you can call, someone that you have access to, guys, you can go online right now. You can go to, the audio book. You can go to YouTube. There's foster mentors all over the internet. And what I'm saying is sometimes you can borrow from people that you don't even know, people you've never met, people you never spoke to, just by simply plugging into their videos, plugging into an audio, plugging into people who are very successful. Or you know what? It was also said, she said the first company that she did after leaving a job was she joined a network marketing company. Guys, here's what I've learned. I learned that a long time ago, right? Network marketing is basically, it's an education within an opportunity, right? You're learning to get out of that shell. You're learning to get better. You're learning to speak to people. You're learning to get in front of a room, right? So all these things that you think that you can't do, what you're finding these companies, if you go out and participate in your own rescue, meaning you show up on the calls, meaning you're getting, on the lives, right? You're talking to people about what you do. All that stuff helps you to get better, right? Because it gets you out the shell. And now it becomes second nature. You can go out and do the very things that you always wanted to do. Like we listen to Elizabeth right now. Again, guys, even through this live here, this live cast here, we've seen her kind of step out a little bit. And, I joked around. I apologize, right? I said, oh, she's only putting out a couple words. But listen, the couple words that she said was powerful. The reason why I say that is simply that, maybe a year ago from now, or a year ago from this date, she probably would have never said those words. We probably would have got nothing out of her. Matter of fact, she wouldn't even be on the show. That's called growth. And that's called connecting with the right people. So again, if you want to get better, you want to do better in life, guys, you got to find people who make you better, who cause you to level up. It's about leveling up in life. And so I don't care, guys. There's no age limit to leveling up. If you're at 40, 50 and still, hitting brick walls, you can level up now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to say, well, my time is come and gone. No, you could be 50 years old. You could be 70 years old and get a new beginning in your life just by simply getting around people who've done things you've never done so you can do those things that you've always wanted to. So again, guys, all I got to say is simply this: find some people who help you get better. Find a circle, again, that you can start borrowing superpowers from, right? I mean, again, that's what you got to do. You got to borrow superpowers, and those superpowers will make you, stronger than you ever can believe, right? We'll start saying, hey, there's a bird, there's a plane. No, that's Elizabeth, right? And so again, guys, that's the whole thing. And so with that, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure. I look forward to seeing you guys all at the top, from the top, over the top. Take care, take charge, and we'll talk to you soon.
Love that.
I mean, seriously.
I gotta say just one thing, and I really will be quiet. But have any of you guys ever had somebody say to you, like you, Ollie, man, you're so lucky, right? And they see when people start to succeed, and they'll talk about, oh, you're so lucky. Guys, if you haven't heard it before, here's what luck is. It is when preparation meets opportunity.
That's right.
Right. And so it's our job to keep preparing and to keep growing for when the opportunity shows up. This particular show didn't exist a year ago. Right. So Elizabeth's growth pattern, she's been working and working and working. And then sure enough, the opportunity shows up. So that's how you got lucky, Elizabeth.
So lucky. We're the lucky ones to have her. One thing that Tokoyo said that really resonated with me is, it doesn't matter how old. Fun fact, two people that I think we know really, really well in terms of influence us. One was Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn didn't become successful until he turned 56 years old.
Yeah.
Like 6 figures plus, and he's been at it for years, right? Eric Worre didn't become 6 figures successful until 49 years old. He was talking about this on one of his reels. He was referring to like the moment I read the biography of Jim Rohn and I understood when he actually became successful. I was like, wait a minute, why am I putting a time clock on myself? I still got plenty of time, and it's so true. Put your mind into it, dream about it, put an action step behind it, and just execute. Is it going to be hard? Yes. What is not hard in this life, right? Like, at the end of the day, I can promise you this. Here's how your movie's going to end. You're going to die. Like that, there's no escaping it. So enjoy the journey, enjoy the path that you have, and just do whatever it is that you desire of doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a whole lot of love to one more time Elizabeth Cousins for giving us an incredible, amazing, one of our favorite interviews. And I think we should do a round 2 because she's given us a lot of cliffhangers that we want to know how did that part end. So. We'll work on next month soon because I know you're going to Jamaica, actually Mexico. Well, no, she's doing Beverly Hills and then she's doing Mexico after that. So you'll be lucky if you can book her time. But we'll work on that together and see if we can bring her back in here. So we appreciate you more than you can imagine, Elizabeth, Tokoyo, Debbie. As always, it is a pleasure. I appreciate you both. And until next time, tell them peace out, everybody.
Peace out.